going to talk about some upcoming games.
Okay, let's do that. September 2022. First on the list, Last of Us Part 1. Why are we still talking about The Last of Us? Anyway, it's a remake of the 2013 Naughty Dog game where you take the role of Joel. All right. He's tasked with protecting Ellie in a post-apocalyptic world.
The Last of Us Part 1 includes 2 new optional and challenging modes for players who want to experience the game in new ways. Permadeath mode, guess what that means, is pretty much what it sounds like. If you die at any point in a roughly 12 to 15 hour story, the game resets and you have to start all over.
Speedrun mode is another new feature that will allow you to submit times for others to try and surpass. Those playing in speedrun mode can compare their best times with friends and receive official tips from within PS5's card feature, accessed when pressing the PlayStation button when the game is in progress.
Game's difficulty can now be customized, much like the sequel, across a variety of categories, including challenge difficulty, very light, light, moderate, hard, survivor, and grounded, available after completing the game once. Player resiliency, enemy resiliency, ally aggression, stealth efficacy, and resource availability. Each of these categories have 6 different options on its own continuum, meaning if you want enemies to go down fast but stealth to be much harder harder to execute, for example, you can tweak it to your preferred mix.
Yeah, that one looks like a good remake, but I mean, I played some of the remaster on my PlayStation 4. It was okay. I mean, it definitely, even though The Last of Us is a decent game, I feel like the gameplay did feel even still a bit dated, even though it came out in 2013. It felt kind of just, I don't know. Like
supposedly with the new remake, they went through and actually redid some of the combat for it, but I don't know. They're calling this a remake. It's a remaster. They didn't remake anything. They're going through it. Well, they did remake models and textures and stuff like that, but it's kind of more of an upscale situation, kind of like what they did with the PlayStation 5 remake or remasters that they did. I mean, they didn't, and they're charging $70 for this game too, if you didn't know that. But Critical just kind of came out with a video on this recently. It's a really good game. Like Last of Us is
I would argue that there's better survival games out there.
For most people, this is like a top tier game. This is one of the best games that has came out in PlayStation.
Yeah, that's PlayStation.
Yeah, everybody has
which is
their own opinion on it, but I personally think the game is really, really good. However, would I be willing to spend $70 to replay a game that I've already played for upscaled graphics and some additional modes like the speedrun mode? I'm not really sure if I even understand why that was added, because okay, it's just an official online leaderboard. People already do speedruns in this game, and they just use third-party tools to be like, hey, here's my speedrun time. So maybe, I guess the advantage would be is the game actually won't allow you to fudge the numbers or something like that, but a lot of those sites you have to post the actual video of the speedrun anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I think the permadeath mode is kind of neat, but at the same time, I mean, that's another thing where you can kind of just do that to yourself anyways in the original game. Just
if you die, just delete your save file.
Just start a new save. So I'm sure that took a lot of time for them to implement. So that's where the other $10 came from for the game. So I mean, because the story is exactly the same. I mean, they didn't change anything in the story. They didn't change really much with the gameplay, other than they kind of redid the combat a little bit, but it's still the same combat. It just flows a little differently.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, what with The Last of Us 2, I felt like it was just a tiny bit pretentious with how it kind of forced you into feeling bad for the main character.
Well, I know a lot of people who were disappointed with The Last of Us 2, but I mean, that that doesn't really detract from how good the original Last of Us was.
Yeah,
if you didn't like Last of Us 2, just pretend it doesn't exist.
I just didn't even play it.
Yeah. I still haven't even played Last of Us 2 all the way through. I'm waiting for him to make a PC version, so I don't want to have to buy a PlayStation just to fucking play the game, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of going down as far as consoles go, I think. It'll be probably a while before they actually maybe decide to go out of the game, but I think that they're going to be having a downturn. After
I mean,
this,
you've got God of War on PC now. You got the Spider-Man game on PC. Those are both PlayStation exclusives.
Wait,
on PC.
Spider-Man's on PC now?
Yes.
Shit, I'm gonna have to get that.
So, Alman, this is The Last of Us Part 1. It's a remake of The Last of Us game that came out in 2013. But, yeah, so that's a little bit of gameplay you got to see there, kind of in the background or whatever. I don't personally think that these remakes should be full price. I mean, that's just my
I
opinion.
mean, this one's more than full. This one isn't full price. It's more than
Yeah.
full price. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the $70 is becoming kind of the new full price.
and it's called a remake. So like a real remake would be like the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes. Like
Yeah.
that's where they took, because this game's only 10 years old. Like the difference in graphics quality of this compared to like the original 2013 release, like it's not so substantial that you're like, holy shit, how did they do it? Where with like the Resident Evil games, it's like, damn, that's a completely different game. This looks like the same game with better graphics.
Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm glad for those that are really excited about it, I guess. But it seems to me like more of a kind of an extended tech demo than it is a.
It's not a tech demo. It's just a cash grab.
Yeah.
They're becoming Bethesda. How many times can we re-release fucking The Last of Us and get people to pay for it?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Last of Us coming to mobile near you soon.
All right. So the next game. Why don't you get us started here, Schloobs?
Metal Hellslinger, just ahead of Summer Game Fest, the Outsiders released a free demo for Metal Hellslinger on Steam that offers a look at one level of the game as well as a boss fight. Playing it as a demon called the Unknown, you shoot your way through the hordes of hell with a variety of weapons. The demo includes a shotgun, a pair of revolvers, and a sword, as well as a sword and a flaming skull that spits fireballs.
So the better you keep the beat with your attacks, it will put the gameplay up here. The higher your skull multiplier rises with it, the music playing in the game's level becomes fuller and more intense. Even the environment reacts to your slayage. Maintaining the beat keeps your multiplier up, while certain actions such as reloading rewarding you for your syncopation by getting you back to the battle faster. In at least one action, a brutal execution move that rewards you with a spray of health items can only be performed if you activate it on beat.
There is a free demo for that one on Steam if you want to try it out.
I would play, so I'll just say the music is kind of like, it's not kind of like, it's actually just metal. Some kind of like very beat-centric metal. It sounded pretty good. I know that Serge Tankian did some work on this as well. I think there was a couple other well-known, I guess, metal / hard rock artists that worked on this with the developer. And I watched probably 8 to 10 minutes of this gameplay video on IGN, which I'll go ahead and throw a link in chat for that, just because the only reason I'm not going to play the audio is because you know how YouTube is. they'll get you on the
I'm checking out some of these people that collaborated on it now. For people out there who enjoy good metal like myself, this included Serge Tankian, Matt Heafy, Michael Stain of Dark Tranquility, Bjorn Stritt of Soilwork. I really like him. Alyssa White Glues of Arch Enemy, and James Dorton from the Black Crown Initiates. There's also a picture of good old Randy Bly from Lamb of God.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it basically looks like a rhythm game based on Doom.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tatiana Shmalyuk of Ginger was in that as well.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
So there's vocals in some of the songs that I'm guessing.
yes, there are.
I would imagine.
Okay.
The one that I was that's playing right now, which I mean we can't hear it just because of YouTube copyright or whatever. But what I was going to say is there's a female singer in this one.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Tatiana
the,
Shmalyuk and
arch
Alyssa
enemy.
White Glues.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Tatiana Shmalyuk is a Ukrainian vocalist known for her band Ginger.
But overall, it looks good. I'll probably shoot. Maybe even tonight after the stream, I might get the
Well,
demo and try this out.
I'm
I
guessing
am
in the
damn
game.
sure going to check it out.
I'm guessing in the game you will absolutely shoot.
So it looks kind of to me. I definitely get vibes of Doom from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doom or Doom Eternal,
It's a Doom rhythm game.
but with
which is-
Halo weapons.
So the thing that I thought was pretty cool is the shotgun has a very kind of deep sound to it. Like you can tell that they made the weapon sounds to match
go
up
along
with the
with the
metal.
track.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it's not a very realistic game, but like I just think that's sometimes you got to make things to where it's like not very realistic, but it adds to the gameplay, which is in this case is the trying to make it sound cool with the music. It kind of has like a booming shotgun sound. So when you hit that on the beat and it's like, hitting, like maybe on the bass drum of the drums or whatever.
Too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look pretty all right. I mean, definitely going to give it a shot, if not for the fact that it's basically made entirely by metal musicians.
Yeah.
Well, the soundtrack is.
Well, yeah, the soundtrack. Also, evidently, the musicians that I listed off from what I read, evidently they're doing voice acting in it for bosses.
That's cool.
And the bosses have some pretty awesome names. I'll just read a couple of those off here real quick. One second. Let's see. Tatiana Shmalyuk, the boss's name is Burial at Night. Bjorn Strid is Disillusion. Matt Hathey is This Devastation. Michael Stain is Through You, This Is the End, Blood and Law. Serge Tankian is No Tomorrow. Dennis Lixon is Silent No More. Randy Bly is Acheron. Elisa White Glues is Stygia. And James Dorton is Poetry of Cinder. Not boss fights, but the music.
Yeah, so Metal Hellsinger will be on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. It'll be $40, and it will be released September 15th. But like we had mentioned multiple times, don't forget, if you are going to be playing this on PC, you can get a demo of this on Steam for free to check out one level, and that includes the first boss.
I am doing that right this very second.
Heck yeah, there you go.
I just downloaded it.
And I also...
It is currently doing things.
We forgot to mention on The Last of Us Part 1, that is actually, I think, already released. I believe that it released yesterday. So, anyway, you can already check that one out.
The Metal Hellsinger demo is 1.51 gigs, if anybody was curious.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one. Mike, can you start us off for that one?
Suppose I could. Slime Rancher 2. The sequel to the award-winning original that has been enjoyed by over 15 million fans worldwide.
Yeah. Just a second, I had a malfunction here. In this installment, you get to continue the adventures of Beatrix, LeBeau,
LeBeau, I think is LeBow. She's
Yeah.
LeBow.
As she journeys to the Rainbow Island.
The full name is Beatrice Lebeau, is how you'd say it in French.
As she
I like the
journeys.
Americanized. I like the Americanized version, Mike.
LeBow.
Jason did there.
Beatrix Lebeau.
Anyway, she's going to be journeying to Rainbow Island, a mysterious land brimming with ancient technology, unknown natural resources, and an avalanche of wiggling, jiggling new slimes to discover.
Features in this game will be a vibrant, rainbow-hued world. That's a feature. New slime types and new enemies to deal with. Earn new bucks. Are we talking about V-Bucks? From slime ports, and collect resources on Rainbow Island to upgrade your backpack, build new gadgets, and expand your conservatory. So I've never personally played this. I've never played the original game, Slime Rancher. So I actually thought it was a 2D
either,
game.
but it looked sickeningly cute. Just saying.
Wasn't the original Slime Rancher a 2D game?
I
No,
don't
it's
know.
3D. So I played this quite a bit with my son, and it's pretty good. It is single player, and I imagine it didn't say anything about there being multiplayer, which there was a lot of people that I remember reading articles of people complaining that there's no multiplayer, and a bunch of people saying that there should be multiplayer in Slime Rancher, but it is, as far as I know, a single player game. And essentially you can get these slimes, and there's a market that the prices will fluctuate for slimes and their plorts, which is what they poop. But essentially they will poop out plorts when they eat food. And there's like essentially a farming mechanic. Some slimes will be herbivores, some will be carnivores. Some if you get a plort of a slime that is a different slime type, like let's say you have like a green, or I guess like there'd be the pink slime, and then you put a plort of a blue slime right next to them, and that green slime, or excuse me, the pink slime eats the other slime's plort, then it will turn into a hybrid, and every time that it eats, it will poop out 2 plorts of each of that slime type. But if you give them another set of plorts on top of that, if they already have 2 essentially slime hybrid or whatever, then it will turn into this black slime, and it will consume your whole entire slime harvest. So it's very important to kind of separate out your slimes so that you don't get too many types within the same pen, because otherwise you'll wipe out your entire slime population there. It's a pretty cool game.
What you're telling me, this is basically just puppy mill for slimes.
Essentially.
Well,
Essentially.
I mean, it still looks sickeningly adorable, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's I have a good feeling about that one. I think it's going to be good. And let me Rancher 2. I'm going to look up the release date here. Looks like it will be released September 22nd of this year, and it will be early access. But I'm just saying, from the gameplay that I saw, it looks like it's pretty well released there. I mean, it looks just like the old Slime Rancher, but with kind of just an updated world for you to kind of do the same thing.
More refined.
Yeah.
It looks neat.
All right.
I would say the art style is nice looking.
Art style does look pretty great. Very appealing, very cute, as mentioned multiple times. I am a sucker for cute things.
Yeah. All right, that brings us to our very last game for the day. Why don't you talk to us about it there, Mike?
All right. A new game called Steel Rising gives you a look at the French Revolution through an alternate steampunk lens.
Do you think Beatrix LeBeau is in that war?
LeBow.
Le
LeBow.
Le Frémedalium one et le
Okay.
Just making
Thanks for
French noises. You're welcome. The Nacon Connect 2021 event showed off a new trailer for the game from French development studios.
That's a lot of dead French soldiers. Jesus.
Spiders?
Yes, spiders.
Spiders?
Yep.
Why spiders?
I don't know.
Why is spiders the name of a... Anyway, it provided a closer look at the combat, slated for release in June of 22. What?
Huh?
We've passed June 22.
Yeah, no, it hasn't released yet, though. It got pushed back.
Interesting. Okay, anyway, Jason?
Yeah,
in order to get this game, you have to get a time machine.
In Steel Rising, you play as an automaton guard for Marie Antoinette called Aegis, and you'll battle through an array of mechanized enemies roaming the streets of an alternate history Paris. The trailer shows Aegis fighting through enemies with dual-wielding blades, war fans, and even a nifty-looking mechanical folding shield. Spiders, the developer, is most recently known for having developed Greedfall, an action RPG released in 2019. So this is going to be a Souls-like, essentially.
All right, so it's a game about the French Revolution developed by spiders.
Yes.
Actual spiders.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust it.
3D modeling was done by a tarantula.
But this is kind of a more kind of like a AA studio. It's definitely not AAA. So kind of manage expectations there. They ain't, some Ubisoft or, Bethesda or whatever, Blizzard. But it looks good. I think that, having more developers in the market and, making their spin on popular game types is a good thing. And this looks to be pretty promising.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a bad game just based on the footage we're looking at now. I mean, it looks at least a little interesting. But if it's Souls-like, I'm sure it's going to be fun.
Yeah. But any thoughts?
With Elden Ring's release being more widely lauded than just about any other Souls game in the past, a lot more people have been really interested in the art as fucking boners gameplay that's offered.
I think it's an interesting mix on the Souls-like style. I think the only issues I kind of take with it is it's kind of like, I don't know, I asked Mom if if I can have Dark Souls 3, and Mom says we have Dark Souls at home, and this is what I get instead. But,
yeah.
It's definitely, I'm not sure how I feel about it seems like it's very did the whole French the whole French steampunk thing just kind of feels like they took some game concept and put it into a randomizer and was like, all right, what's our game going to be? Okay, French Revolutionary War,
Right.
Steampunk, Dark Souls, make the game. That's my only complaint.
But we can't make this game. This is a job for people who have more than two hands. Spiders, I got it.
So I mean that would be my only real complaint about it, is it just seems like this game concept came from a randomizer, but kind of a neat idea, though.
Well, here's a thing to think about. Greedfall that game was in that same time period. So I'm wondering if they just essentially ported Greedfall to have this Souls-like concept within the world they built Greedfall with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that would cut down on the development time, because they could just use a lot of the same kind of shading and art style of a game they've already developed and brought to the market.
Is this the same developer?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Spiders website right now, and all their games are made on Silk Engine. So that's even more proof that they are actual spiders.
So if we look here, I'm going to pull up some Greedfall.
I don't know if I want to help the spider agenda, honestly.
So here's
Fucking
some
spiders, dude.
Greedfall gameplay, and you'll see that it's pretty well like the same exact art style. I mean, look.
Yeah, that's, yeah. What do you mean pretty well? It's all the same. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
Except the cloak is a little, the cloak is running at a lower frame rate than the rest of the game.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm not, once again, manage your expectations. This is a AA studio, single A studio, whatever you want to call it.
It's paid by spiders, too, so that's just impressive in itself.
Yeah. I mean, how many of them would have to pile onto a mouse to click the button once?
And there are actual cities in this, and I would say the architecture looks about the same as that other. So my guess is that they probably just used the same kind of world that they already built with Greedfall.
Well, honestly, I think they might
probably have
some assets and models from before, but I mean,
they probably have a backlog of like art and other systems in place. But I mean, that's honestly, they're going for a style or a theme of game or whatever, and I mean.
Hey, go for it.
That's not a bad thing to do. So I'm curious, are there bonfires or sites of grace in this game?
I'll bet.
I'm not sure.
No, they're just called spider nests.
It looks like there's some souls down over at the bottom right of the screen. Currency or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
I noticed there's only a health and stamina bar.
Yeah.
I mean, this is France. Nothing is magical in France. But, I mean, hey, if this is actually done by a double or single A studio, then yeah, I mean, graphic quality looks pretty all right.
Yeah.
Like, compared to today's AAA games, it's pretty comparable, honestly.
I mean, I think it looks a little bit dated. I don't know.
He's trying to platform.
That. Trying to is the operative term.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool that the weapons kind of come out of their arms.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the a little earlier in the clip, the shield kind of folded down and like just kind of spiraled into place. That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the bonfire?
Yeah, there it is, Vestal.
Yep. Vest.
Yep. Yep. There it is.
So anyway, yeah, I figured I would give a few games out there for us to check out that are going to be released here. Let me look up real quick. Steel Rising. Release date.
Honestly, though, I mean, for a game that's about an alternative retelling of the French Revolution, the word Steel Rising just feels like a word salad that they threw out there because it sounded cool.
Everything in this game is just from a randomizer. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So it's going to be releasing September 8th, and it will be on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PS5. Does it look like it'll be on the Switch? But yeah, I'm going to check this out, I think, when it comes out.
Do you think it's going to be available on the web?
I mean, in some capacity.
Because spiders.
Oh, geez.
I'm hilarious.
The spider agenda is real.